Everyone loves a bit of candy every once in a while, and there are plenty of different kinds to choose from out there. However, for whatever reasons, some candies eventually get discontinued. Could be due to poor sales, and like some of these examples, it can be due to something far more ridiculous. They say you must take the bitter with the sweet, but what about the toxic? Whatever the case, here is a look at the top 10 candies that could be banned where you are. Are you ready? It's time to enter the Zen zone. At number 10. Smarties. Smarties might be fun to eat for some. High school kids found another, totally unique way to enjoy them. This candy caused controversy in Oregon, Maine and Michigan when school officials discovered some teens just don't pop Smarties in their mouths, they also smoked and snorted them. This caused health issues such as chronic coughing, asthma attacks, infection, and according to a school representative, in extreme cases maggots could begin eating the candy out of children's noses. Of course, stores were not banned from selling them, the kids were just banned from bringing them to school. At number 9. Nestle Magic Balls. Nestle is not a company that is known for making poor decisions with their products. This candy was actually a pretty good seller for a while, delivering prizes that were often licensed by big entertainment companies like Disney. In 1997, the magic was taken out of Nestle Magic Balls after parents showed their concern about the balls, which contained toys causing choking hazard. In 2000, Nestle re-released the candy, calling it the Wonder Ball, and by replacing the small toys with edible candies. At number 8. Maoam Candy. Finally, we come to a candy infamous not for its ingredients, but for its packaging. Maoam was a fruit-flavored candy sold in England, and it was known for the little green mascot that adorned all of its packaging. While he was pretty adorable, when combined with the personified fruit on the package, he got into some pretty compromising situations. In 2009, the lurid images of fruit found on the packaging of Maoam Candy caused quite a stir in England. The characters appeared to be in pornographic poses on the candy's packaging that made many parents furious. While at first, Haribo was reluctant to change their design, eventually in 2015 Maoam unveiled new packaging that swapped out the salacious fruit in favor of a chill, skateboarding lima bean. At number 7. Candy cigarettes. No one can disagree that the name, right off the bat, is a bad idea. The fact that they made it to the shelves still doesn't make sense either. Back in the 1960s, these sugary cigarettes were a little too convincing. The packaging for Vicio candy smokes was nearly identical to that of the real Viceroy and Marlboro cigarettes. This candy clearly desensitized children from the harmful effects of smoking tobacco, by making it look so cool. Imagine seeing kids bumming candy cigarettes off one another on the playground. Ultimately, people started to realize that selling candy cigarettes to kids might be setting them up to become smokers in the future, and with more and more people becoming aware of the real dangers of smoking, it was an easy call to take them off the market. At number 6. Trolli Roadkill Gummy Candy. As any candy lover knows, there are plenty of gummy shapes out there: frogs, bears, worms, sharks, and any other variety of animal. The list is seemingly never-ending. If that's the case, then why was the world ever graced with an idea as bad as Trolli's Roadkill Gummies? Kraft Foods had to hit the brakes on its roadkill-shaped candy when animal rights activists began protesting in 2005. Parents obviously didn't want their kids eating candy shaped like roadkill, and people old enough to see the irony didn't find it all that amusing. Some groups insisted the candies, which were shaped like flattened critters complete with tire treads encouraged children to hurt animals. They were eventually pulled off of store shelves, and Trolli decided that it was in their best interest to stick to more conventional gummy shapes. At number 5. Lolli Pipes. Don't assume that the failure of candy cigarettes kept candy companies from making stupid decisions in the future as well. Back in 2011, Lolli Pipes were banned in the state of Washington, and in many stores in Indiana. To attract customers, it was made double the size of a smoking pipe, with many different flavors like watermelon, green apple and strawberry. Lolli Pipes seemed to send the message that pipes are cool, particularly those that are used to smoke marijuana or other more illicit drugs. That's right, this thing was just a piece of hard candy molded into the shape of a classic glass pipe. How is it that executives who make these kinds of decisions make hundreds of thousands of dollars every year? At number 4. Hippy Sippy. Let's take a journey back to the 60s. It was a far different time than today. The early 60s only saw the rising popularity of entirely new forms of expression. The late 60s erupted in declarations of peace, free love, and expanding one's mind through the use of drugs like LSD and heroin. Needless to say, hippies and hippie culture were starting to actually influence the market. Sometimes that worked, and other times it just failed miserably. Hippy Sippy was a candy introduced in the late 1960s that was marketed to kids who wanted to jump on the hippie bandwagon. It was a tube of sweet liquid that kids could bite into and sip. It wasn't entirely dissimilar from other candies on the market that did the same thing, except for the fact that the Hippy Sippy delivery system happened to be shaped like a heroin needle. This caused such uproar that it was almost immediately removed from the market. It's bad enough to be selling the idea of smoking cigarettes to kids, but selling them the idea that playing with syringes or hanging out and just getting strung out on candy was just a total mistake. At number 3. Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Gummy bears, you know 'em, you love 'em. They're chewy, fruity, sweet and tasty. You can bite their heads off or squish two of them together for a splash of flavor. Of course, there are people out there who would enjoy gummy bears if they could, but restrict themselves due to its high sugar content. Haribo thought that this was unfair and decided to create sugar-free gummy bears. So what made these responsible candies bad enough to be taken off of the market? Well, it was the fact that one of the ingredients used to replace the sugar was actually a powerful laxative, lichen. Lichen's main ingredient was maltitol, and anyone who ate the sugar-free gummy bears was going to need to find a bathroom very quickly afterward. These gummy bears are without a doubt gut-wrenchingly scary, as proven by the reviews on Amazon that chronicle customers' sugar-free gummy bear-fueled diarrhea horror stories. At number 2. Tamarind Bolirindo Lollipops. Who doesn't love a nice, spicy Mexican candy? Well, what if it was a candy that happens to be full of lead? Ingesting a lot of lead can damage your brain and the central nervous system, which can lead to severe learning disorders, and in some cases, even death. The lead poisoning threat came from an imported tamarind candy lollipop labeled as the Dulmex brand Bolirindo. The candy wrappers alone, which some children often lick or chew, contained almost 22,000 parts per million of lead. The sticks contain about 400 parts per million of lead, and the candy itself about 2,000 parts per million. Undeniable proof that you can never be safe from toxic candy, even if you don't even eat it. You can unfortunately still buy the lollipops in various places around the world. The company has changed their packaging, so be careful. At number 1. Toxic waste nuclear sludge chew bar. First of all, we need to address the fact that calling candy toxic waste seems like it would be the thing that doomed this particular brand of sweet treat. However, that's not actually the case. Toxic Waste was actually a fairly popular brand of extremely sour candy, similar to Warheads. They decided to branch out and make other products using their signature formula. That led to the creation of nuclear sludge chew bars. The problem once again wasn't the name. The big issue with these bars, specifically one of the flavors, is that there were actually trace amounts of lead in each bar. When California's Department of Public Health found lead in the candy in the cherry flavor in 2011, it was totally banned from the market. While it's still available in various iterations, the hazardous ingredients have hopefully been removed from the recipe. These are our top 10 picks. What do you think? Did we miss any of your favorites? Any top 10 list you'd like to see? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this kind of content, do me a favor and like the video, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay tuned for our latest videos. It really helps us spread the Zen and grow the channel. If you like what we do here at Top 10 Zen, or you like cool clothing and gear, you should check out top10zen.store on a regular basis to see what new stuff just dropped. We have really awesome gear, shirts, hats and all kinds of cool items to grab for yourself or to give as a gift. We have an amazing lineup of merch inspired by the power of Zen, so check it all out at top10zen.store. You'll be helping out our channel directly while also earning major Zen points. Thanks for watching. See you soon.